Alright, bro. Why don't you tell everybody who you got on the camera today, man?
Juvie, Blockhead Juvie, GSBH, Goon Squad Juvie, though. AKA Lil Nate, AKA shit, me.
Bro, where you from, man?
1300. Born in Cabrini Green. Moved. Marshfield Guards, Evergreen and Hudson. And I was like, shit. I think I was like 2 or 3 when we moved out of projects. But we still like, we still living over there back and forth. OG crib, the granny crib. And with the school over there all our life though, until they closed down. I went to Bird Community Academy for shit, from pre-K all the way to shit to 6th grade, 6th, 7th grade. Then I ended up going to Manila. Once I got Netta, it's just like, who the fuck is this nigga? Cause I wasn't never really on a block like that. Like I was on a block, but motherfuckers was playing in the back streets. I was never like on hustle and all that shit. Granny wasn't going for that shit. It's just like, nah, don't go over there.
What the back streets at?
Back streets is just like the orange doors, brown doors, all that shit. Them like the back streets. Like that's why my father stay in the playgrounds, all that shit. I made it to Manila. Once I made it to Manila, it was just like, who the fuck is this? I ended up going to summer school at Manila for like, fuck is this nigga? Certain motherfuckers knew me, but certain motherfuckers like, who is dude? Then motherfuckers seeing me going to school on the end, so they like, you from off the end, you folks. I'm like, nah, I ain't no GD. At the time, I wasn't even gang banging in. I'm like, nah, they weren't trying to hear that shit. I'm like, yeah, I gotta get busy in this motherfucker. I ended up getting in Manila, motherfuckers playing with me in that bitch. I'm like, alright, I gotta start whooping ass in this motherfucker. I got to stretch the shit out in that bitch. Motherfucker like, oh yeah. My homie, my right hand, Lil Church, he seen me whoop a motherfucker one day. He like, nah, matter of fact, he tried me in the washroom one day when we was in 7th grade when I first got to Manila. I had a phone. We just had hit a lick for like a little phone. He tried to take my phone. I'm like, man, you gotta whoop me. You ain't finna take shit from me. Ain't no nigga taking nothing from me in this bitch. He like, so what you wanna fight with? I'm like, yeah, come on, we can fight. He like, oh yeah, you want us now. You Goon Squad now. It was over after that. After that shit, it was just like, I was in after that. Now like, I'm hanging with the guys, big guys, Drono, Butter, Dre, Big Boy, CC, just our little crowd and shit. Me, Church, George, we just, every day, just that was our crowd, every day we together. Motherfucker couldn't tell us shit. We was the demons. Like, for that age bracket, we was the demons. Like, couldn't
y'all were?
We was like 12, 13, just reckless, bro. Like, just beating ass. Like, motherfucker ain't even have to do shit. We just beating ass, started shit. We was some motherfuckers, so. We used to motherfuckers. That's why motherfuckers used to hate us. Like, motherfuckers really like used to hate us. And motherfuckers used to like, y'all always starting shit, y'all always, we ain't had no mercy on no motherfuckers, man. We was beating ass, man. Even with the folks, that's another thing. Motherfuckers I used to go star shit. Like, I used to really just go over there star shit. Like, just walk over there. Walk on the end. Motherfuckers be, look, cause they already know me. I grew up with all their ass. I go to school for them. Now they, oh, you from outside now? Ooh, I walk over there, look, see who I see there. Be in the crowd, so there. That go Lil Nate right there, try to chase my ass down. Go back to the block, like, yeah, them niggas just trying to jump me. Ooh, motherfucker, what? Come on, we finna tell that bitch up. Now we swing back over there, send that bitch up. Motherfucker fighting in the field. Before niggas start playing with guns and weapons and shit, motherfuckers, sticks, bricks, and whatever weapon you could pick up and find, motherfucker getting beat with them bitches. Like, them niggas caught me one day. They used to do this thing called Old School Sunday over there. Motherfucker went over there one day to kick it. We get over there, them niggas came from behind the building so motherfucking deep. Like, it looked like a concert or some shit them niggas was coming from. Them niggas so motherfucking deep. They come from back there and shit. We like, man, we finna spin out, though. It's probably like 8 of us at the most. We walking out, we get in the field, motherfucker had BB guns and shit then. Motherfucker up in BB guns, firing their ass up. Motherfucker caught me in the field, I'm looking for the guys, motherfucker come up behind me, get to chase me, I'm tearing ass. I done cut behind the alley, I done left one of the guys, Dre, I running behind him, I done turned, he kept straight. I run in the alley, laying on the garbage can, thinking they, still following him. I look up, motherfuckers. You just see a mob of niggas coming through the alley. Just a million motherfuckers come through the alley. I'm knowing like it's over with. That nigga knocked my ass out. One of the folks named Boogie. He cleaned my ass right up. I fall. Next you know, I wake up. I'm in the ambulance. Them niggas done took my whole motherfucking face, like this whole side. That's where all these scars and shit come from. Them niggas beat me with a motherfucking shovel, all type of shit, like metal heavy shovels and construction shovels. They beat the fuck out of me back there. After that shit, every one of them I caught, I made sure motherfuckers sent them to the hospital. Like, I showed no mercy on their ass. Like, it was over after that. They really turned my demon up, cause it's like them niggas tried to kill me back there.
Yeah.
Like, I damn near could have bled out after the white motherfuckers ain't see me from the balcony, stretched out in that bitch. I'm like, yeah, it's that now. Now it's just like, yeah, I'm fucking them up every time I see them. Like, I immerse that shit like I swear to God, Nike boy. Every time I catch one of them niggas, I'm beating their ass.
So like you remember what started the whole beef, or like it was kind of like inherited, like you kind of just
between us and the end.
Yeah.
Shit, that shit really was inherited. Like, you had the older guys into it, the folks from the projects, and they ended up knocking down the buildings and shit. The Snakes build, they ended up knocking them motherfuckers down, and they ended up, moving on the block, moving the stones around and shit over there, cause it wasn't really shit but stones over there by Marsh Fields. Then they ended up knocking the buildings down, so now all the older guys, all the older Snakes and shit, they ended up moving on the block. They ended up rotating a lot of the stones and shit. Then they took that whole little area over. So it wasn't shit really but Snakes, Vice Lords, because Lord and them ended up coming over there too. Snakes, Vice Lords, and Stones. Like, cause still some stones still rumbling through that bitch. But yeah, that shit was inherited.
So the Snakes. Talk more about the Snakes. Like they from, you said they came from the Gardens?
No, what Snakes?
They came from the Greens?
Yeah, the Snake. Yeah, the guys. Yeah, you had two buildings that was MC buildings. It was the Rock and the Pimp Palace. See, I'm from the folks building. I'm from 911 862, so I never lived in them buildings. So they ass end up starting a little branch in that motherfucker. Then once they knocked the buildings down, shit, it was over with. All hell Mickey Cogswell for like.
Wait, so the Greens was set up. It was set up with GDs and
GDs, Vice Lords, MCs. Vice Lords, they had 500 bankroll. The MCs, they had 1150, 1160, which is the Pimp Palace and the Rock. Then everything else was the folk shit. The white walls, them was all the GD shit. Then the rest of the red buildings, them was all none of the folks and them motherfuckers, none of the GDs.
And the GDs into it with everybody else, basically. But everybody stay in one area.
One area. But at that point in time, it was just like everybody had their building. Everything was like structured up. So the folks want to get into it, the folks then. The MCs want to get into it, the MCs. Lord and them want to get into each other. It was just, you had them niggas still out there. Like, Larry was still on location at that time. So motherfucker wasn't stepping out of bounds that shit. But yeah, the folks had that bitch. They had the most buildings. Lord and them only had one, then we only had two buildings. Then shit, that's how once they knocked them bitches down, it was over with. Rotation.
I ain't never heard of the Snakes until I really started hanging around y'all.
I know, it's a lot of people say that, like, I hear that a lot, like, when motherfuckers getting booked, niggas a shorty and shit, motherfuckers like, you an MC? I'm like, yeah, what's that? Damn, motherfucker don't know what MC is.
I still don't know what that is.
Motherfuckers know, now motherfuckers know, like, cause of Zoo, and, certain motherfuckers like Cap, Zoo, that shit, motherfuckers know, like, MCs, like, okay, Mickey Cole was
okay, yeah.
Now motherfucker gotta understand what's going on.
Yeah,
then, back then, it was just like, back then, being an MC was just like considered being like, that shit probably like ran under Black Stone, so it was like, cause we is a branch of Black Stone, so he's like, Black Stones, 21 bricks, and them bricks you got MCN. So it was a small branch, but a valid branch though. Like, motherfucker go to jail, you get booked, you go to jail, county, IDOC, ID home, all that shit. You get talking about you an MC, you know, you automatically link in with the Stones. This is like through the door. You all the way up. What's up, Mo? Like that was mandatory.
So, what age was you when you moved over there to the Hudson?
I've been over there that's the crazy part. So I've been on Hudson all my life, but it was like all my people still stayed in the project. So it was that like back and forth and shit. That's where the confusion came in. That was certain motherfuckers. It was like, you know, motherfuckers see me walking over there or us going over there and be like, "Are you from the end?" Then motherfuckers see us coming on set. They be like, "Are you from said? You stay on said? You be from?" It was just like, man, you know, motherfucker caught in between the two. Like, my people's from over here, but I live over here. My friends and shit over here, but you know, my family on this side. So it's just like best of both worlds.
What's some of your best, like your favorite memories over there on Hudson?
On Hudson, favorite memories on Hudson. I'm trying to think what's the best memory. Fighting the folks was always like fun. Like, cause it was never that like serious like how it is now. Like, ain't nobody fighting this shit now. Like, you know, motherfucker get into it, chase each other back and forth, beat each other ass, you know, fight, you know, one-on-ones, getting jumped, whatever. You feel me? Like, that shit was what it was, but it was fun though. You ain't have to worry about dying. You feel me? Like, you ain't have to worry about, you know, you going to no motherfucking funerals. I ain't go to no motherfucking funeral until Block died, and that was, you know, self-inflicted. So it's like
What
you ain't have to. Huh?
What year was that?
Block died 2011.
How old was you?
Shit, I think I was just turning 18 or some shit. I turned 18. I think he was turning 20 at the time, so he had me about like 2 years. So yeah, them was the best moments fighting the folks of the Vice Lords, because we used to be beating the fuck out them. And we was kids too, so it's like we shorties, we fighting grown niggas and niggas our age. Like, we used to get that bitch busted. And there's only a handful of us. It's like only like at the time probably like. At the time, it's probably like 30 of us at the top, but then niggas got to switch sides, fucking flipping, motherfuckers ain't MCs no more, they Vice Lords. Now it just went from 30 to, you know, probably 15, 10 solid motherfuckers that's like really locked in with that shit. Cause we was too much.
Yeah.
Like, we was too much. Like, one thing I always tell the guys, like, niggas won't never fucking with us cause they was with that shit we was on. Niggas was fucking with us because they was scared of us. So it's like, alright, I'm finna link in with them, and you know, cause I know if I link in with them, I ain't gotta worry about getting my ass beat. You know, motherfuckers robbing me, checking my pockets. You know, we was going to niggas' pockets. They motherfucker walk on Evergreen. Hey, come here, what you got in your pockets? Or, you know, motherfucker playing tough, man. Let's get this. Man, we finna beat your ass. You don't get it. So now motherfucker like, okay. In order for me not to get, you know, robbed or treated or no shit like that, I'm just gonna be one of them. So, you know, motherfucker won't fuck with me. So, you know, we was letting the wrong niggas in at the time. So, but yeah, them was the best times between 2005, for me from 2005 to 2011. Them was the best moments, yo. Cause motherfucker, it was fun. You didn't have to worry about dying, motherfucker killing you, motherfucker just on weird shit, like doing crazy ass shit. Like, now it's just like.
The worst thing that happened around that time was we had somebody just riding down the street on a bike, swinging a pipe. But I think he was just on defense, like, you know, just trying to make it home on a bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from Roseland on 111, so we couldn't ever go down the hill. We couldn't ever go on 113th. It was just like we couldn't really leave our block. So if we left the block, like, we had this one gas station right behind all our houses. So that was our gas station. Once you leave the block though, it's like really, you know, you finna get chased. Like, that was my mindset. You know, bro.
Yeah, by somebody.
By somebody. Like, whatever. Every time I left the block, it was like, I swear to God, I got chased, bro. I got chased up. It's so much that my family don't even know about. You know.
I'd rather be getting chased and motherfucker beating my ass and motherfucker chasing me trying to blow my ass down. You know, that's what it is now. Shit, motherfucker gotta be on standby for all that shit. This shit treacherous. This shit sad, but you know, it is what it is. It's like you take that one L, just ignite a whole flame through the city. Like, once motherfucker got to playing with guns and shit, no structure, nobody to direct the motherfucker. Wasn't nobody around to be like, Nah, don't kill them. No, you ain't finna put no hit out on them. Ooh. Motherfucker 13, 14, 15. Motherfucker like, come on, let's go. We got a gun out here. Now we Mighty Mouse is like, man, come on, let's go blow their ass down. Now motherfucker done killed them. Now they killed y'all. Now it's just like it's on now. Shit.
It's been non-stop ever since.
Ain't no ducking this shit now.
So Block, you said Block died 2011?
Yeah, Block died 2011. It was fluky though. That shit was fluky.
How he passed?
He was at one of the guys' crib, and he had just got a 9, but he was playing with it, and he was in a room with a little bitch or some shit, and he was pointing at her whatever case is, but he started telling her like, man, I wasn't there, but you know, motherfucker's story, how the story went, like, he telling her like, oh, you know, he was a crazy motherfucker too. He telling her like, man, ain't shit in here, ain't nothing up top. No, he took the clip out and like, see, ain't even nothing in here. Pulled the trigger and it was one in the head.
I know somebody just died from that exact same incident recently, playing with a gun, thinking ain't nothing up top, and killed himself.
That's crazy part, because he played with pipes like he was a shooter before niggas was shooters. Like, that's the shit he beat ass. Like, Block beat ass. Like, one of them motherfucker over on that block fucking with him on a one-on-one fight. Like, he beat the fuck out of him. But when it come down to pipes, he was probably one of the first niggas that was actually like shooting and doing all that wild shit before motherfuckers really into all that shit. So it was a throw off. It was like, damn, how you let that happen? If you was the shooter, before everybody. You played with pipes. You know, you knew how to break them bitches down, clean them motherfuckers, put them back together, and you know, load that everything when it came down to guns. Like, so for that shit to happen, it was just like unbelievable. And this is like an everyday nigga. Like, wake up 8 o'clock in the morning. Come on, you ready? And we all leave one band, one sound. Like, that one just no. Man, that was my everyday niggas though. Like, we was with each other every day. Me, Lil Church, Mike Dog, George, Block. That was our circle. Like, every day. We was locked in every day. Then I ended up meeting Block on some. He was a stone when I first met him. He had just got out the Audi. Nah, he just had got out of Lil DOC. And I just had got out the Audi home. And motherfucker studied telling him like Mark, because we used to call him Marcus at first. I feel like Marcus home, Jock brother. Now I knew his older brother. I feel like, man, Jock home, Marcus brother. Ooh, I'm like, who y'all talking about? Nah, it's Moses and Marcus. So I knew Moses, but I never met Marcus because he was always locked up. So I'm like, who the fuck is Marcus? Who y'all talking about? And I met him. And he like, man, he like, what's up with a aggressive ass nigga? Like, he just want to play and fight and do dumb shit all day. We linked up. He like, what the fuck you tell me? Like, man, what size shoes you up? Like, he had that like Lil DOC Audi home mentality shit. He stayed booked. He like, what size shoe you up? He had on some like honeycomb 10s. This is 2006. I had on some gray and black ones. He like, what size shoe you up? I'm like, no, I'm a 10. He like, I'm a 10 too. Let's switch shoes. I don't know this nigga. I ain't never met this nigga a day in my life, yo. I'm like, what? He like, man, let's switch shoes, yo. I'm like, all right, cool, here. I'm like, fuck it. Now we done switch shoes and shit. Then he get that. You wanna go hit a lick? I'm like, fuck, we both just got out of jail. He like, fuck, you scared? Like, fuck, you scared of going to jail? I'm like, nah, I fucking, come on, let's go hit a lick. We end up going to go get a BB gun. I'm talking about this lit November 1st, 2006. Both of us just got out, like literally just got out. I got out that day. He got out probably like 2 days before me. We just get out of jail. He like, man, you want to go hit a lick? My dumb ass, just goofy as hell. I'm like, shit, all right, come on. We walking around, we end up robbing the motherfucker piece of man. Ain't get shit probably for like $60, $70 from his ass, but you know, we felt like that was enough. We got our weed, our nickels, 3 for the 10 on the weed, our blunts. We was able to get some liquor because he was drinking already. I wasn't even drinking like that then. He was already drinking gin and shit then. We end up getting some liquor, kicking it, and we was locked in from there. It was over after that. Motherfucker couldn't tell me shit about him. Motherfucker couldn't tell him shit about me. It was just like, we this. It's this now. We did everything together. And he wasn't even in my age, bro. He was probably like Ski them age. Block had me about like 2 years, a year or two.
Oh, Ski older than you?
Yeah, Ski got me about like 2 years, a year or two. Ski probably got me about like a year, 2 years older than me. But shit, it was on from that, man. That was my boy. Boy. It's crazy because the day he died, he literally packed all this shit and was supposed to went to Michigan that night. He was leaving. He was supposed to leave that night. He was like, man, I'm finna slide. That's all we seen. All day he was walking around with his bags and shit. He's like, man, I'm finna leave in a little minute, Joe. I'm finna go to Michigan. Then that shit happened. It's like, damn, I wish he was just shit left early or something. Like,
yeah. Where was you at when you got the news?
Shit, where we was at? We was at his brother in the crib. They stayed on the block. They stayed in the Brown though. We was at their crib, city. Motherfucker called like, man, fuck they say, man, Fashawn, like, man, Block they just shot theyself, they dumbass. Ooh, motherfucker just shot theyself at Benny in the crib. So now we all in the crib, we sitting on the couch, smoke shit. We looking at it, we like, man, they dumbass. My homie Shooter, he like, man, I'm like, man, motherfucker talking about motherfucker just shot theyself at Benny in the crib. You know, motherfucker wasn't saying like he dead before we checked. So we like, alright, here we come, man. We finna come. We leave out, motherfucker get top of the line about like, man, Block gone, Block dead, woo-wee. But nah, hell nah, we get the 10 ass. We run all the way from the block to North Avenue and Claiborne. I'm talking about, I'm flying, like, I ain't never ran that motherfucker fast. No folks, no nothing, no man, police, nobody could make me run as fast as I did today. I make it there, and I get there, they bring me out on the stretcher. Got the white sheet on it. They pulled that bitch back and threw that bitch back over him. I fell out shit. I was like, damn, like my homie dead for like that shit. I ain't never felt no shit like that.
Yeah, that was your first.
Man, that was our first loss. Like our first like major L besides Ike Boy. That was Bro New Cuz, and that was probably like the hood. That was probably like next up between Block and Ike Boy. Them was some major L's.
So he passed after Block?
Nah, he passed way before Block. Like Ike Boy passed way before Block did. Once Block died, it was just like, damn. One of them niggas, he's one of them niggas. When it come down to the hood, you can't. He's one of those. So we lost him. It was just like, fuck. What's next?
Yeah.
It's over with. That shit hurt.
So what ended up happening next? Like, what was next?
What shit to do next? You know, it ain't like a motherfucker killed it. You know, it was a self-inflicted wound. So you know, that was something we had to deal with. But we just on bullshit. We just riding around looking for motherfuckers to whoop. Just somebody to take that anger out on. Like, we ain't got nobody to blame. Shit, can't whoop him. He did it to himself. So it's like, shit, fuck we supposed to do? Now we just riding around doing wild shit. Like, just any folks we catch, anybody, we beating their ass. Like, we just on all bullshit that whole like little month. And I ended up catching an indictment after the funeral. They ended up coming through the hood doing a drug indictment. I ended up getting my ass locked up after that shit. It was so many project buildings. That whole area was like project building. That's probably the main reason they started like knocking that bitch down. Cause you know you had downtown, then you got the projects, and it's just like they end up like they end up buying that bitch up, knocking that shit down, moving everybody around, breaking it. They broke that whole motherfucking area, and then that's one thing. Like it'll never be nothing like the projects. Like the stories and the shit that used to be going on and up, man, ain't nothing like it. Like to this day, ain't nothing like the projects. The projects was fucked up, but it wasn't nothing like being in the projects. Like it was fun. You didn't have to worry about a lot of shit. You know, it was a lot of shit was orchestrated. Everybody had shit on lock. parties. You'll never get them Jew parties again. Them motherfucking, them barbecues, them family reunions, 4th of July's and all that shit. Like, you'll never get that shit back. That shit, they took that shit. Them white people took that shit. Destroyed a lot of good things. Like, it's a lot of things that they took. Motherfucker, I'll never see that shit again. Being at Stanton Park, Sewell Park, Franklin Park, Manila. Shit motherfuckers be doing on them bitches, they made it their job to like shut that area and community down and move all them white motherfuckers in there and get rid of all the black motherfuckers. Because if you really pay attention, now it's like they taking everybody that was in the projects and shooting them to the suburbs and spreading them around and getting all the all the niggas out the city. And everybody, all the white people that was in the suburbs, they moving them all in, putting them all downtown, building all these condos. What's that word called? Gentrification? I said it right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Gentrification, whatever this shit is, like, they rotating shit. Like, it's over with. Like, they trying to get motherfuckers up out of here. Either lock your ass up or push you to the suburbs. Let y'all kill each other out there. Fuck out of our cities. It's that simple.
But Cabrini Greens was at a point where what had happened? They said somebody sniped the police officer from the roof, and then the police stopped responding over the period. So they got to the point where it was just too much violence and raping and.
Motherfucker had shot the police. Then the thing with they killed Kentrell Day. That's really what got the 1150, 1160 knocked down. So they say, motherfucker, one of the older brothers. I never met him. But he ended up trying to hit one of the folks or something. Ended up hitting, a kid. Killed him after that. Then the shit with the police. After that shit, they just like, them was the first 2 buildings to go. Guys building. They like, nah, these motherfuckers ain't gonna go. They ended up knocking them motherfuckers down. It was over after that shit. Then it's just like. It was always rumors of, they finna knock the projects down, they knock the project, motherfucker like, these bitches ain't gonna be here forever. And they just start moving motherfuckers, get motherfuckers up out of there. From Sewell Park on, from Division to Chicago Avenue was none of the projects.
With that gas station and shit was that right there?
Yeah,
that was the green.
All that shit was project.
Even them apartment buildings that's right there, they weren't right there?
None of that shit was right there.
What about the G station and all that? What was that? That was still like, that wasn't no building, right?
The gas stations, which gas station though? Because the gas station really low key been right there.
The one across the street if you was to go towards the expressway. Not the one that's on the left side.
Go towards the expressway.
It's like a mobile, I think.
No, those all row houses. So you had the row houses, then you had the projects. Row houses still like that. They ain't knocked them down. They just rebuilding them bitches. But the projects, all that shit, project buildings. Shit project buildings over there. Like a motherfucker that ain't never been to Chicago would never believe it was like used to look like that. Like you want shit project buildings right there. Marshall God's been that way. It always they ain't touch shit in that motherfucker. But projects, they wiped them motherfuckers out.
So the gardens is already right there, Marshfield.
They got built around the same time. Cabrini and Marshfield, all that shit was built around the same time. That shit been right there since like the 70s, 60s, 70s and shit. Like, all that shit been right there.
What other like rappers came from out of there besides Polo?
From the projects?
From up north. I mean, from like Marshfield or the Greens. Nobody.
R. Kelly from the Greens, he from the projects.
Oh damn, I didn't never knew that.
That's about it. That shit, ain't nobody else came from the projects as far as like no music shit, no rapping and shit. Ain't nobody else from the projects.
So how was it when you how old was you when Polo was rapping and shit? Like when you started taking off?
I was booked when that shit kicked off. So I had caught an indictment, drug indictment, a home invasion drug indictment in 2011. They gave me 15 years at 50% when I was 19. So I did 7.5 years